I have to admit, I was looking through all the research for today's deep dive, and I felt a little bit guilty.
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
Well, I spent most of yesterday complaining about this one pothole on a highway that's, what, maybe 5 years old?
Hmm.
And here we are about to look at a road system that survived for over 500 years through some of the most extreme environments on the planet.
Right. It really does put a cracked windshield into perspective, doesn't it?
It really does.
So we are looking at the Qhapaq Ñan, which is the Royal Inca road system. And our mission really is to get our heads around how some serious constraints, I mean, no iron tools, no wheel, led to one of the greatest engineering feats in history.
And the scale is it's the first thing that jumps out. This isn't one road. It's a network of 40,000 kilometers.
That's 25,000 miles. It's staggering, stretching from modern-day Colombia all the way down into Chile and Argentina.
It's this massive logistical web, which actually, reminds me a bit of what our partners at Embersilt do. Yeah, they build these digital nervous systems for businesses, all about AI training, automation, and just making things flow.
That's a great comparison. Whether it's software integration or agents, embersilk.com is all about creating efficient connections. And that is exactly what the Incas were doing, just physically.
So how on earth did they do it? Through the Andes, deserts, swamps? I mean, how?
Well, this is the genius of it. Unlike the Romans, who sort of imposed their will on the landscape, building in straight lines and cutting through hills, the Incas worked with the landscape.
Oh, and that comes back to the wheel, right? Or the lack of one.
Exactly. That's the key. If you don't have carts, you don't need gentle slopes. You can just carve stairs straight into a mountain face.
Which lets you go places a chariot could never dream of.
For sure. We're talking 16,000-foot passes. And because they were carving into what the archaeologists call living rock, they became masters of drainage. They built retaining walls and culverts that are still preventing landslides today.
The detail that really got me was that tunnel near the Apurimac Bridge.
Oh, yeah, the tunnel.
They cut through solid rock, but then carved these little light holes into the side, just so travelers wouldn't have to walk in total darkness. That's like, user experience design from the 1500s.
It is, but that design choice stairs instead of ramps, it dictated everything about their logistics.
Right. You can't exactly haul heavy cargo up thousands of stairs.
No, you can't. So the trucks of the empire were biological. You had runners, the chesquis for information, and llamas for cargo.
And the llamas are actually perfect for this.
They're an engineering asset. Their hooves are soft and padded, so they don't tear up the road like a horse or an ox would.
So lower maintenance.
Yeah.
But they can only carry about 30 kilograms each.
Which brings us to the whole economic model that the system supported, what scholars call the vertical archipelago.
I love this concept.
It's brilliant. The empire crossed all these different ecological zones, right? The coast, the high Andes, the jungle.
So you grow potatoes way up high, corn a bit lower, get fish from the coast.
Exactly. And the road connects these islands. It moves all those resources to huge state warehouses, the kolkas. So if the potato crop failed in one area, you could just redistribute corn from another. Nobody starved.
It turned the difficult geography from a problem into an insurance policy.
Precisely.
But the whole system falls apart if you can't cross the massive river canyons. And these suspension bridges, they sound like something out of a fantasy novel.
Made of woven ichu grass, spanning 45 meters.
But a grass bridge can't last forever.
It can't. And this is where the engineering becomes social engineering. The bridges had to be rebuilt every year or two.
And everyone had to help.
Yes, through the mita, a kind of labor tax. The local communities would come together and reweave the bridge. It wasn't just maintenance. It was a ritual that bound the community together into the empire.
And that connection, it's apparently so strong that it's still measurable today.
That 2021 study is just fascinating. It found that communities living within 20 kilometers of the Inca Road, even now, 500 years later,
have higher wages, better nutrition, higher levels of education.
It's an incredible testament to how good infrastructure can uplift humanity for centuries. The investments we make in connecting people, they pay dividends for generations we'll never even meet.
That is a really hopeful thought. There's one last little detail from the reading I want to leave everyone with. The apuchates.
Ah, yes. The stone cairns. A beautiful tradition.
Tell us about them.
As travelers went up into the high passes, they would carry a small stone with them from the valley below. And at the summit, they'd place it on the pile as a kind of offering for a safe journey.
So the road itself became a shared monument.
Built stone by every single person who walked it. A shared journey.
A perfect image to end on. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please be sure to subscribe to Intellectually Curious. And hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out.
Thanks for tuning in, and stay curious.